welcome to the Dollhouse. I am the doll, and today I am back again with another video about the hypocrisy among the descendants of the American enslaved and ways that we can improve, because the dolls, we recognize here that we are in the uncomfortable position of being leaders, of being trailblazers, of being change makers, taste makers. People look up to us. People are copying what we're doing. So we have to be the best of the best in America. We have to be the change that we want to see, right? That's what Obama said, huh? We have to lead the charge to unite the country, because if we don't, then no one else very likely will. And we really are literally walking reminders of the cultural melting pot that America actually is. And I see the greatness in this country. If you're one of those people who feel like America is too racist or capitalism is such a drag, go to Venezuela. Go to Haiti. You don't have to stay here. You don't have to remain here under the treachery of the freedoms that we have. Go elsewhere. But those of us who choose to remain, we have to ask ourselves, what country do we want to live in? What kind of place do we want our children to inherit? I have a lot of relatives who are white or white passing. And I don't think it's cool to alienate them. So I'm going to play some instances where I have observed people saying things that if white people were to say it, they would be completely canceled, maybe even jailed for hate crimes. Let's start with Issa Rae first.
Not least, who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody black. I am betting on black tonight.
When she said that, I laughed, just like the Asian reporter. I thought it was hilarious. Got a little chuckle from it. It was cute. But the hypocrisy comes into play when others are restricted from saying those same types of things. It just doesn't equate to this equity that everyone is striving for suddenly. It is definitely not equitable. And I like it because she said what she felt in the moment. And I like when people say what they really mean. They say what they truly feel. So I don't like it when a certain group of people are restricted because we don't know how they truly feel. And what if a person really is racist? You don't really know how they feel because they're restricted from really sharing their thoughts for fear of retaliation or being canceled or losing their job or losing, support. You don't know how they truly feel, so you could never really make a determination on whether or not you should do business with them, you should work with them. There's someone who can be trusted to live next door to. When people are allowed to speak freely, you can really get to see who they are. And at this point, there are some freedoms and privileges extended to black people that white people do not have. And saying things like this is one of the privileges. Saying the so-called N-word is another privilege that black people have that people of other races don't have. And it's like a fake source of power. There's some other people who have an opinion on the use of the N-word. I'd like to share what they have to say about it.
Punitive, you use the word, you must be a bad person. Reaction is hysteria. And it's a virtue signal. And it's a kind of power play. It's a play to get command over the one arena where you can actually exercise suzerainty. You don't own any manufacturing plants. You're not building any hospitals. You're policing the language. You're a weak puppy. You're being tolerated.
I had to look up the word suzerainty. And it says that it's a relation between states in which a subservient nation has its own government. but it's unable to take international action independent of the superior state. A similar relationship between other entities, the status or power of a suzerain. And that's basically like a person who lives with their parents in the basement, who has dominion over that basement, but no say so in how the rest of the house is governed, has no say so on what's being made for dinner or when they eat, because they really have no power. But they might have just a little tiny bit of power over their parents. You know, say for instance, they don't want their parents in their room touching their video games. So they make a huge deal out of it, and the parent just tolerates it and kind of overlooks it. And that's somewhat how it is with the N-word. It's just much ado about nothing, in my view. There's no power behind the word, and there's no power in trying to police the word either, really. I know what I'm saying is probably controversial for a lot of people to hear, but I don't believe that I'm oppressed. I know that my ancestors certainly were. My mother was born during the time of segregation. But me, personally, there is no law that protects white people in this land that does not also protect me. Now, the actions of individuals may be racist, but I can't control the actions in the mental states of rogue individuals. And I don't care to try. And I'm not going to limit my power or my enthusiasm for living or feel like I'm underprivileged or that I am missing a part of life, or that I need to hunt down some equity that truly will never really exist. My mission is to expand my life and the life of my family socially and spiritually. And I will do that whether or not white people like me or approve of me, black people like me or approve of me, mixed people like me or approve of me. My relationship to the divine has nothing to do with my race. And I would implore people to focus on that and be led by that. And that is how I know that no one is superior to me. And I'm not superior to anyone else either. So I'm not looking for superiority, but I am looking for harmony in a country where we are so privileged that we overlook the blessings that we have in front of us. And I'm only hoping that we can have safer streets, a more united America. So I want to play some more clips of people who are making jokes. But again, if a white person were to say these things, they would probably be in jail, or at least banned from the platforms that these content creators are on.
Why is it that cleanliness and Onky Haze and healthy boundaries and Onky Haze, they like oil and water, they cannot do it.
So I love that content creator. He's funny, but he's out here calling white people Onky Haze, which is the Pig Latin way to say honkies. And if white people were to call us nigglets or little nappy heads or something like that as a joke, black people and white people and the whole of the government would call it hate speech. But without impunity, black people exercise hypocrisy that prevents us from really uniting and really creating camaraderie. And actually, it's not that he should be restricted from saying it. It's just that other people should not be restricted from sharing their true thoughts either. I'm a free speech absolutist.
Usually I don't agree with Napkin Americans, but in the case of this plantation Barbie, I agree. I would never call you Napkin American to your face. I would probably go with something like Rice Rascal. No Purpose Flower, Chalk Child. Chalk Child is a personal favorite. I love using that one. What about Lice Lieutenant? Do you prefer Lice Lieutenant? When did you have Lice? Walking Ranch. That's the one for you. You are a walking ranch. Yeah?
So she calls white people Napkin Americans, rice rascals, and ranch walkers or something weird like that. All of that, ha ha ha, LOL. But if a white person compares us to a chimpanzee or a monkey, we're ready to strangle them or push them off a bridge or something. Knowing that we aren't monkeys, knowing that we aren't black bean children, or whatever it is that they could come up with. It's just like, sticks and stones may break your bones, but names should never hurt you. I guess we forgot about that old adage. I don't even know if kids learn that anymore. But she's saying things that she's assuming do not hurt white people. But one thing they definitely don't do, the things that she said, they don't bring unity to our nation. And we as the dolls, I just implore us not to be hypocrites in that way. We have to be better than that. You know, if people call us names or whatever, don't take it too personally. But just refrain from doing anything that you would not want to be done unto you. That's the golden rule. I don't know if people learn that anymore. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So I hope that makes sense, y'all. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about this. Bye, Rice Rascals.